Hello, and welcome back to our 21 Days Challenge, Setting Your Boundaries and Grow. This is day 4. It's wonderful to have you with us again as we continue our journey towards self-discovery and personal empowerment. Today, we are focusing on a vital topic that plays a crucial role in our lives: strong boundaries. So let me start with a thought-provoking question. How often do you feel overwhelmed by the demands of others, or perhaps find it challenging to say no? If you find yourself nodding, you're not alone. Many people struggle with setting and maintaining boundaries, which can lead to stress, burnout, and feelings of resentment. Understanding the importance of boundaries can be transformative in both personal and professional lives. Boundaries are the limits we set around ourselves to protect our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. They are essential for creating a healthy relationship with ourselves and others. Boundaries allow us to assert our values, protect our time, and maintain our emotional health. Establishing them helps us foster relationships based on respect, understanding, and clarity. To put it simply, strong boundaries are about knowing your limits and teaching others how to treat you. Imagine embarking on a journey where you take charge of your life and decisions, free from the pressure of meeting everyone else's expectations. This journey begins with recognizing and defining your boundaries. Let's start with emotional boundaries. These boundaries help protect your feelings and emotional well-being. Emotional boundaries allow you to express your feelings without fear of judgment or ridicule, while ensuring others respect your emotional space. Consider a situation where a friend constantly unloads their problems on you, leaving you feeling drained and overwhelmed. If you lack emotional boundaries, you might find yourself feeling responsible for their happiness or well-being. However, asserting emotional boundaries means recognizing your limits and understanding that it's okay to prioritize your emotional health. Think about how emotional boundaries have played a role in your relationships. Do you ever feel uncomfortable sharing your feelings for fear of being dismissed? Healthy emotional boundaries empower you to communicate your needs clearly and engage in relationships that uplift and nourish your spirit. Next, let's explore physical boundaries, which are equally important. Physical boundaries pertain to your personal space, privacy, and bodily autonomy. They regulate how we interact physically with others, whether it's through hugs, personal space, or even our environment. If someone frequently enters your personal space without permission or disregards your need for privacy, it can lead to feelings of discomfort or violation. Having strong physical boundaries means feeling empowered to assert your needs for personal space and privacy. If, for example, you find it challenging to concentrate while working in a noisy environment, enforcing boundaries with your colleagues about maintaining a quiet workspace is crucial. Physical boundaries allow you to create an environment where you feel safe and secure, free from intrusion. Now let's shift to time-related boundaries, a vital component in today's fast-paced world. Time-related boundaries help you protect your time and energy by establishing limits on how much time you devote to various commitments, both personal and professional. Often we find ourselves stretched thin due to our inability to say no. We overcommit ourselves because we want to please others or fear disappointing them. Establishing time-related boundaries requires you to recognize your priorities and manage your schedule accordingly. For example, if you know that you need at least an hour of downtime each day to recharge, it's essential to set boundaries around your availability during that time. By prioritizing your needs, you teach others to respect your time and energy. Now that we've discussed the different types of boundaries, let's dive into how you can define your own boundaries. This is an empowering process that will inform your relationships and interactions moving forward. Start by reflecting on each category: emotional, physical, and time-related, and identify where you may currently be lacking boundaries. An effective way to approach this is to create a journal entry for each type of boundary. For emotional boundaries, ask yourself questions such as, what emotions do I feel most often in my interactions with others? Do I often feel responsible for others' emotions? What do I need from others emotionally to feel safe and supported? As you write down your thoughts, you may discover patterns that reveal areas where boundaries need to be established or reinforced. Moving on to physical boundaries, consider, what are my comfort levels concerning personal space? Are there specific situations where I feel my physical boundaries have been crossed? How can I communicate my needs regarding physical space to others? Again, journal your insights. This process of self-reflection fosters clarity about what boundaries you need to establish. Finally, for time-related boundaries, ask yourself, am I overcommitting? Do I struggle to find time for myself amidst my obligations? How can I better allocate my time to prioritize my needs? Writing down your priorities and scheduling necessary downtime is key to maintaining your well-being. Once you have a clearer understanding of your boundaries, it's essential to create an actionable plan to enforce them in your daily interactions. This plan begins with communication. Clearly articulate your boundaries to others. This doesn't have to be a confrontational conversation. Instead, it can be a respectful assertion of your needs. For example, if a friend frequently reaches out late at night and you prefer not to engage during those hours, it's essential to communicate that. You might say, I appreciate you reaching out, but I typically turn off my phone after 9 p.m. to unwind and rest. I'd love to catch up during the day. Establishing and communicating boundaries may feel uncomfortable at first, but remember that discomfort is a natural part of growth. As you practice stating your needs, you will gain confidence and clarity. This is where the magic happens. When you set clear boundaries, you teach others how to treat you and establish a culture of respect. It can also be beneficial to anticipate potential pushback when implementing your boundaries. Sometimes people may react negatively or be resistant to your new boundaries, especially if they are accustomed to certain dynamics. In these cases, stand firm in your convictions. It's important to remain compassionate yet assertive. Reinforce your boundaries calmly and confidently. If someone pushes back, you can gently remind them that your boundaries are about protecting your emotional and physical well-being, and it is not a personal rejection of them. As you enforce your boundaries, it's vital to practice self-care. Setting and maintaining boundaries can sometimes trigger guilt or discomfort, especially if you're not used to prioritizing your needs. To counter these feelings, develop a self-care routine that supports your mental, emotional, and physical health. Engage in activities that rejuvenate and inspire you, whether it's practicing mindfulness, pursuing a hobby you love, or spending time in nature. Additionally, find a support system that understands the importance of boundaries and encourages you to stay true to them. Connect with friends or family members who respect your decisions and offer guidance as you navigate this journey. Having these supportive voices can help reinforce your boundaries and foster an environment where you feel comfortable asserting yourself. Now let's revisit the task you'll undertake after this video. I invite you to define your own boundaries across the 3 categories we discussed: emotional, physical, and time-related. Take time to reflect on what you need in each area and write it down. Once you've done that, create a plan to enforce these boundaries in your daily interactions. For example, if one of your emotional boundaries is about avoiding conversations that lead to gossip, practice stating that clearly in group settings. If you identify a physical boundary around personal space, remind a colleague who tends to stand too close to maintain that space respectfully. And for time-related boundaries, if you find yourself being approached for additional work when you're already at capacity, practice saying, I currently have commitments that I must prioritize. Can we revisit this later? As you move forward, remember that setting boundaries is not about building walls. It's about creating a healthy space where you can thrive. By defining and enforcing your boundaries, you enhance your overall well-being and foster deeper, more meaningful relationships with others. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. By doing so, you'll stay updated on all our upcoming content as we continue exploring essential topics that empower you to set boundaries and create a more fulfilling life. In conclusion, thank you for joining me in this exploration of strong boundaries. By understanding the importance of emotional, physical, and time-related boundaries, you are taking a significant step toward enhancing your well-being and fostering deeper connections. I'm excited for you to engage in the tasks we discussed and begin defining your boundaries in meaningful ways. Next time, we'll delve into the concept of self-care and how it interplays with setting boundaries. Take care of yourself, prioritize your needs, and remember, strong boundaries empower you to live authentically and thrive.